Monday is here, and so is the Grinch. There's storms in the forecast. Will that throw a wrench in your holiday plans this week? Well, we're going to talk about it in this Monday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer along with Grinchy. It is Monday, the 23rd of December 2024, and we're 2 days until Christmas, and all through the state, things were a bit warm, but at least it's not going to be 20 below at some point this week. We do have the chance for some thunderstorms this week, and as seems to be the case now, every other year or so, we have to deal with maybe some issues in the severe weather department before and after Christmas. At this point, Christmas looks quiet, and before we get into any of that, I want to emphasize, at this point, nothing is even remotely coming close to suggesting we're going to have another December 26, 2015. Rightfully so. Folks are worked up about that still. But I want to emphasize that's not on the bingo card right now. If that changes, we'll let you know. But yeah, we are probably going to have some storms this week with some heavy rain, some hail, some strong wind gusts, and yeah, we might have a low tornado risk with some storms on Thursday, maybe even Friday and Saturday. But at this point, we're not looking at a spinny doom outbreak or anything remotely close to what we saw coming up on 9 years ago. So let's go ahead and get into the forecast. We're going to start off a little differently today. We're going to go with the fire weather outlook first over the next few days from the Texas A&M Forest Service. Today, high to very high fire danger possible. The Guadalupe Mountains, the Trans-Pecos, down into the Davis Mountains, the Big Bend, and outside of those areas, low to moderate fire danger expected across the state. For Tuesday and Wednesday, a majority of the state will see low to moderate fire danger, with the potential a bit higher in the borderland of far west Texas around El Paso, the Guadalupe, and Davis Mountains, along with the Trans-Pecos and the Big Bend. All right, we're going to pop in now to the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Tuesday, Christmas Eve. The first thing you may notice, spotty showers and drizzle possible the eastern third of Texas today. As we go into tonight, into Tuesday morning, scattered showers and, yeah, some thunderstorms will increase along and ahead of a southeastward moving cool front, mostly across, well, for all intents and purposes, northwest Texas, the Big Country, Texoma, North Texas, down into, well, really the eastern third to the eastern half of the state. Now, what you're not noticing here is a bunch of storms tomorrow morning or early tomorrow afternoon. At this point, it looks like the highest chance for thunderstorms on a more widespread basis is probably going to be Tuesday evening into Tuesday night before activity moves east of the state early Wednesday morning, Christmas morning. Western half of the state, we're going to have some clouds at times today, tonight, even some drizzle in the parts of the Panhandle, West Texas. That'll clear out Tuesday morning with, some low clouds staying in the picture Tuesday afternoon. But again, precipitation chances eastern half of the state. Now, let's talk about the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This is for tomorrow, the 24th of December. That's not even the right one. Here, hold on a second. It technically is. It's just not the latest super-de-duper one. Here you go. This is the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Isolated severe thunderstorms are possible late Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, North Texas, generally along and southeast of a line from, we'll just say, Stephenville to Dallas to Greenville. Southeast into East Texas. Southeast Texas, northern coastal plains. We do not expect there to be a tornado issue with this. That being said, I will never completely rule out tornadoes. because that's just a surefire way to make Mama Nature angry and somehow throw out a random spinny spinny doom doom. That being said, it is highly unlikely we're dealing with that tomorrow. The strongest storms, that means the most intense storms, may produce pocket change size hail, dime, nickel, quarter, maybe $half size hail. For those of you unfamiliar with US coin currency, that's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter up to 1 1/4 inch diameter. Some storms may also produce localized wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Most storms are not going to be producing that high of wind, strong of wind, or that large of hail. Rain, you betcha. Lightning, well, that's what makes a thunderstorm a thunderstorm. Small hail, yeah, why not? But again, we're talking the most intense storms, and at this point, the risk level is a level 1 out of 5, the lowest on the scale, meaning isolated severe thunderstorms, generally short duration in nature, are possible. Now, let's take a look at the global forecast system, the longer range American weather model. Alright, starting off with the longer range American weather model, the global forecast system. This is going to play through a couple of times as I talk over it. We're going to start off with more aggressive looking thunderstorm development off this model by Tuesday evening into early Wednesday morning. That's generally the expectation as a cool front slowly moves southeast, with the highest chance or the most likely area for thunderstorms scattered to numerous across northeast Texas, the Ark-La-Tex, eastern North Texas, with maybe a trailing line or more isolated thunderstorm activity south into the Brazos Valley Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening. That activity is expected to exit Texas to the east early Wednesday morning, leaving Christmas Day high and dry across the state of Texas. Even if it takes thunderstorms a little longer to move out, we still expect sunrise Wednesday, Christmas morning, through the day to be dry. No severe weather, warm weather, no spinny spinny doom doom issues in the state of Texas. As we get into Thursday, we're going to see the chance of thunderstorms increase across portions of North Texas, Texoma, Northeast Texas, and East Texas in association with a cool front / dry line feature. Unlike most of our cold fronts in December or the winter months, these aren't really going to pack all that much of a punch in the cold weather department, which is a little unusual for us, but that's just going to allow a moist, relatively moist, more unstable environment to remain in place, which will be important for subsequent days, versus, knocking in the cold front, knocking in the cold air, pushing all that activity out. That's not going to happen later this week. We're going to have a couple of upper-level storm systems kick on through, one on Thursday, one maybe Friday and Saturday, and those each could produce thunderstorms. The highest possibility of thunderstorms, Thursday afternoon, Thursday night to Friday morning, Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas, and East Texas. The southward extent of that at this point is an uncertainty. Will we have issues in the Brazos Valley with rain chances? Central Texas, Southeast Texas? We're going to have to wait and see. You can see the American Weather Model Global Forecast System being pretty ambitious with a line of thunderstorms, possibly with hail and gusty winds, Thursday evening. Moving across, North Texas, Central Texas, Southeast Texas, East Texas, the Ark-La-Tex, Northeast Texas, before kind of calming itself down early Friday morning. Still scattered showers, maybe a few storms into Friday afternoon. The eastern third of Texas, Southeast Texas, and that could, at least at times, we could see some rain and storm chances continue into Saturday. Before things start to quiet down, you can see cold front finally comes in, kicks everything east of Texas, creates quite a mockery in terms of thunderstorm chances across the southeastern United States. But again, for us here, we're going to be watching Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening into early Wednesday morning for some storms, maybe some hail and gusty winds, North Texas, Northeast Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, maybe into Southeast Texas. Strongest storms could have pocket change size hail, some strong wind gusts. The tornado threat is almost zero. Heavy rain, lightning. Christmas Day, looking okie dokie artichokey. And then Thursday, could have storms. May hold off until late Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, east of I-35, but also we could start off the day by early afternoon. Northwest Texas, the big country, line of storms moving east through Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, up into Northeast Texas, East Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, into Thursday evening into Friday morning. And we may have additional chances for some storms on Friday and even Saturday, especially across the eastern third of Texas and southeast Texas. Some of these storms Thursday into Thursday evening could be on the strong to severe side, depending how everything sets up. We're still talking about an event 4 days away. We need to see how all the ingredients are going to come together. For example, the American weather model this evening is the more aggressive solution in suggesting some severe weather will be possible, while the European weather model is trying to keep moisture values or surface dew points a little lower and confined to the coast, which would reduce the possibility of, strong winds and maybe a low tornado risk, while the opposite was true yesterday afternoon with the model runs yesterday. The European weather model was a more aggressive solution, while the American weather model was not as favorable looking. That's all I'm trying to say here is, we could have some strong storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening to Wednesday morning, and we may have another round of strong storms Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. The severe weather threat Thursday does look a little higher than the risk we're looking at for tomorrow. Take that as what it may be. We'll have to see what Friday and Saturday may bring. After that, we'll quiet down for at least a day or two, and hopefully that'll be it, but we'll see. So we have a lot to talk about this week, but I want to make clear, we're not talking spaghetti-o at this point. We're watching it, as should you, but there's no reason to be panicky. There's no reason for you to think the ghost of December 26, 2015 is upon us again. I mean, we've had to talk about risks the day after Christmas a few years now, and none of them have proven to be super spooky. So, we'll see. And for what it's worth, if something were to arise or it would to suddenly look like we were going to have issues, I'll just hightail it back to my little magical weather office Christmas evening, fly across the country, pay an abhorrent amount of money for a plane ticket, and you know what? We'll be here. It's as simple as that. That's the preliminary plan if things go awry. So regardless, we're going to be here to keep you updated. So you're already better off than most folks would be that would have no idea what's going on. Take that as what you may. Here's the forecast rain totals from the Weather Prediction Center today through 6 a.m. Thursday. So this encompasses the round of rain essentially tomorrow night, and then whatever's left early Wednesday before it moves out. You can see we're looking at maybe 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain. Eastern North Texas, Northeast Texas, the Ark-La-Tex, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, the Piney Woods of East Texas, the Brazos Valley, Central Texas along and east of I-35. You can see rain totals cut off very quickly west of I-35. And, there you go. That's the general expectation. Now, let's count in the round of rain on Thursday and Friday. You can see rain totals go up. In addition, we now had the possibility of a 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, Texas Panhandle, especially along the east of I-27. Northwest Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, South Central Texas. The potential for 1 to 3 inches of rain, Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, with the potential of maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain, Eastern North Texas, east of 75/45, Northeast Texas, the Ark-La-Tex, and good chunk of East Texas. We may have some localized flooding issues, but soils really aren't all that saturated either at this point, so that precludes a more significant flooding issue / river lake flooding. And those will be refined as well as we go through the week. All right, today's high temperature forecast, 50s in the Panhandle. We're looking at Otherwise, 60s, 70s across the rest of the state, 80s this afternoon, Edwards Plateau, South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, and the Rio Grande Valley. Tomorrow, 50s in the Panhandle, West Texas, maybe the northern Permian Basin. Otherwise, we're looking at 60s, 70s, 80s. As we go into Christmas Day, high temperatures across the state. Middle 80s, Edwards Plateau, South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, even into the coastal bend. Mid 80s, wouldn't be shocked to see an upper 80. Not bad for Christmas Day. We're looking at 70s, Southeast Texas, South Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, the Concho Valley, out to the Permian Basin, and the borderland to Big Bend. 60s for West Texas, most of the big country, Northwest Texas, Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas, East Texas, the Ark-La-Tex, with upper 50s to low to mid 60s in the Panhandle and West Texas. And then for what it's worth, things don't really change all that much as we go into Thursday and Friday. Highs coolest in the Panhandle, West Texas with 50s. Otherwise, we're looking at 60s, 70s, and 80s, and wouldn't be shocked if we flirt with 90 degrees in deep South Texas around McAllen Thursday or Friday afternoon. And then for what it's worth, let's take a look at not the Climate Prediction Center temperature precipitation outlook. We're going to go a little nerdy today because we already have. This is something called the North Atlantic Oscillation. This is an index that is particularly useful to forecasters and meteorologists during the winter months in North America. To simplify things, a positive indice typically does not favor a significant cold air intrusion into the eastern half of the United States, while negative values, when the index goes below zero into the negative territory, that can favor a more potent intrusion of cooler air into the eastern half of the continental United States along east of the Continental Divide, the Rocky Mountains. And long-range weather model guidance, along with this, does suggest we could trend cooler around the new year in the first few days of 2025. Now, how cold, we're not even getting into that yet. There's been some pretty outrageous weather model graphics posted from the 384-hour GFS, Global Forecast System, which shows, snow and super cold. And folks, the model outside of 240 hours is pure weather model voodoo. The Global Forecast System, along with most weather models that are in the long range, are run 4 times a day. The deterministic singular weather models themselves. There are ensembles that use dozens of different initialization parameters that are slightly different for those deterministic models. So if you count the ensembles, you're talking about, dozens, if not over 100 of the models. And that's run 4 times a day. So we're not going to be showing you any sort of hype, voodoo, scary, spaghetti-o graphics that indicate a temperature of 50 degrees below zero or 5 feet of snow in Texas when we're talking about a weather model that is literally out at 384 hours. Because I'll give you a hint. The next run, that's literally run 6 hours later, probably is going to show the complete opposite solution. So you look for trends in the long-range guidance, not any sort of specifics. And it is trending cooler. So we may have a cold snap around the first of the year into the first few days of January. We may not. It's just something we're going to be watching for. But clearly, we've got some weather to work through before we deal with any sort of New Year's weather galore. So that will be it for your Texas Weather Roundup on this Monday. We'll keep an eye on things. We'll do our best to keep you updated. Again, we're going to share information as we know it. We're going to tell you what we know. And if we don't know something, we're not going to pretend we know it. We'll explain the uncertainties. And again, there's no reason to be freaking out about storms this week. There really isn't. If you have watched this video, you already are in better shape than most folks. Knowledge is power. And again, at this point, we'll probably have some severe storms this week. No, we're not looking at a significant tornado threat at this time. Is that impossible to happen? No. I mean, everything's possible. It's possible I grow a full head of hair again with some sort of expensive cosmetic surgery. It's not going to happen because I have better things to do in my life. But again, it just goes to show you things can happen. We'll do our best to keep you updated, and that's what we're here for. You can always get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. And again, if you're watching us here on YouTube at the Texas Weather Center, we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. If you appreciate our content, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, subscribe. It's free, and you'll get notified when we post new updates this week. We may start doing videos more than once a day, depending on how things trend. But otherwise, I hope you have safe travels if you're making a last-minute journey to wherever you're going for Christmas. And our plan is we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, Christmas Eve, for your next Texas Weather Roundup. Have a great Monday. God bless.